During the subsequent 2-hour interview, the 9 Millionaire respondents shifted constantly in their chairs. Occasionally they glanced at the buffet. But not one touched the pity or drank our vintage wines. We knew they were hungry, but all they ate were the gourmet crackers. We hate to waste food. How did we dispose of our food and drink? No, we did not have to throw it away. The trust officers in the next room consumed most of it. Of course, the authors helped. It seems that most of us were gourmets. However, none of us was a decamillionaire. A foundation for building wealth. Today we are much wiser about the lifestyles of the affluent. When we interview millionaires these days, we offer a spread that is more congruent with their way of life. We provide them with coffee, soft drinks, beer, scotch during evening sessions, and club sandwiches. Of course, we also pay them between $100 and $250 apiece. Occasionally, we offer additional incentives. Many respondents have picked a large and expensive teddy bear as one of their non-monetary rewards. They tell us they have a grandchild who would be thrilled to receive a big bear. It is unfortunate that some people judge others by their choice in foods, beverages, suits, watches, motor vehicles, and such. To them, superior people have excellent tastes in consumer goods. But it is easier to purchase products that denote superiority than to be actually superior in economic achievement. Allocating time and money in the pursuit of looking superior often has a predictable outcome: inferior economic achievement. What are 3 words that profile the affluent? Frugal, frugal, frugal. Webster's defines frugal as behavior characterized by or reflecting economy in the use of resources. The opposite of frugal is wasteful. We define wasteful as a lifestyle marked by lavish spending and hyper consumption. Being frugal is the cornerstone of wealth building. Yet far too often the big spenders are promoted and sensationalized by the popular press. We are constantly barraged with media hype about so-called millionaire athletes, for example. Yes, some of the members of this small population are millionaires. But if a highly skilled ball player makes $5 million a year, having $1 million in net worth is no big deal. According to our wealth equation, a $5 million earner who is 30 years of age should be worth $15 million or more. How many highly paid ball players have a level of wealth in this range? We believe only a tiny fraction. Why? Because most have a lavish lifestyle and they can support such a lifestyle as long as they are earning a very high income. Technically, they may be millionaires, have a minimum net worth of $1 million or more, but they are typically low on the prodigious accumulator of wealth (PW) scale. How many households in America earn $5 million in 1 year? Fewer than 5,000 of the nearly 100 million households. That's about 1 in 20,000. Most millionaires never earn 1/10 of $5 million in a year. Most never become millionaires until they are 50 years of age or older. Most are frugal. And few could have ever supported a high-consumption lifestyle and become millionaires in the same lifetime. But the lavish lifestyle sells TV time and newspapers. All too often young people are indoctrinated with the belief that those who have money spend lavishly, and if you don't show it, you don't have it. Could you imagine the media hyping the frugal lifestyle of the typical American millionaire? What would the results be? Low TV ratings and lack of readership, because most people who build wealth in America are hard-working, thrifty, and not at all glamorous. Wealth is rarely gained through the lottery, with a home run, or in quiz show fashion. But these are the rare jackpots that the press sensationalizes. Many Americans, especially those in the underaccumulator of wealth (UAW) category, know how to deal with increases in their realized income. They spend them. Their need for immediate gratification is great. To them, life is like a quiz show. Winners get quick cash and conspicuous gifts. Viewers of these quiz shows have lots of empathy for the contestants. Look at the top ratings such shows enjoy. People love to view their surrogate other winning motor vehicles, boats, appliances, and money. Why don't quiz shows offer tuition scholarships as prizes? Because most people want immediate gratification. They don't want to trade a prize of, say, a camper van for 8 years in night school, even though a college degree can translate into a value equivalent to more than a dozen vans. The lifestyle of the typical Americanmillionaire is a show about the typical American millionaire won the mass TV Audi. Ince would enjoy? We doubt it. Why not? Let's take a look at why not. The camera zooms in on the typical millionaire household of Mr. Johnny Lucas. Like most millionaires, Johnny, 57, has been married to the same woman for most of his adult life. He holds an undergraduate degree from a local college. He is the owner of a small janitorial contracting firm that has thrived in the last few years. All of his workers now wear nicely tailored uniforms, including hats that bear his company's logo. To his neighbors, Johnny and his family appear to be nondescript. Middle-class folks, but Johnny has a net worth of more than $2 million. In fact, in terms of wealth, Johnny's household ranks in the top 10% of all the households in his nice neighborhood. Nationwide, his household is in the top 2%. How will the TV audience respond to the description of Johnny's wealth and the images of Johnny on the screen? First, viewers will likely be confused because Johnny does not look like the millionaire most people envision. Second, they may be uncomfortable. Johnny's traditional family values and his lifestyle of hard work, discipline, sacrifice, thrift, and sound investment habits might threaten the audience. What happens when you tell the average American adult that he needs to reduce his spending in order to build wealth for the future? He may perceive this as a threat to his way of life. It is likely that only Johnny and his cohorts would tune into such a program. It would certainly bolster their views about life. In spite of these concerns, let us assume that one of the major TV networks agrees to run at least a pilot program about the Johnnies of America. What will this program tell the viewing audience? Here is Johnny Lucas, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lucas is a millionaire. I will ask Johnny some questions about his chasing habits. These questions come from our TV audience. Custom-made or off the rack. First, Johnny, Mr. G from our audience wants to know. What's the most you ever spent for a suit of clothing? Johnny closes his eyes for a moment. Obviously, he is deep in thought. The audience is silent. It is expecting him to say is somewhere between $1,000 and $6,000. But our research indicates that the audience's expectations are wrong. We predict that our prototypical millionaire would say, the most I ever spent, include the suits I bought for myself and for my wife, June, and my sons, Buddy and Daryl, and my girls, Wileen and Jin. The most I ever spent was $399. Boy, I remember that. The most I ever spent. It was for a very special occasion. Our 25th wedding anniversary party. How will the audience respond to Johnny's statement? Probably with shock and disbelief. The audience's expectations are not songru. And with the reality of most American millionaires. According to our most recent survey, the typical American millionaire reported that she never spent more than $399 for a suit of clothing for himself or for anyone else. Note the figures given in Table 2.1. 50% or more of the millionaires surveyed paid $399 or less for the most expensive suit they ever purchased. Only about 1 in 10 paid $1,000 or more, only about 1 in 100 paid $2,800 or more. Conversely, about 1 in 4 millionaires paid $285 or less, and 1 in 10 paid $195 or less for his/her most expensive suit. These figures are for all millionaires in our survey. Keep in mind that almost 14% of those surveyed told us they inherited their wealth. What happens when we break out inheritors and self-made millionaires? Self-made millionaires spend significantly less for suits as well as for most other high-status items than do those who have inherited their wealth. The typical 50th percentile self-made millionaire paid about $360 for a suit, while the typical inheritor of wealth reported paying more than $600. How can the Johnnies of America get away with spending such modest amounts? Johnny does not need to wear expensive suits. He is not a successful attorney who must impress his clients. Nor does he ever have to impress a large audience of stockholders at an annual meeting, the financial press, or investment bankers. Johnny does not have to dress the part of a high-powered CEO who must constantly address a highbrow board of directors. Johnny does, however, need to impress his staff of janitors. How? By never giving them the impression that he is making so much money he can afford to have a tailor fit him for a suit priced in the low to mid-four figures. Most of the millionaires we have interviewed over the past 20 years have views similar to Johnny's. Then who purchases all those expensive suits? Our survey has revealed an interesting relationship. For every millionaire who owns a $1,000 suit, there are at least 6 owners who have annual incomes in the $50,000 to $200,000 range, but who are not millionaires. Their shopping habits certainly have something to do with the fact that they are not wealthy. Who are these people? Typically, they do not own their own businesses. They are more likely to be corporate middle managers, especially those who are part of a working couple, attorneys, sales and marketing professionals, and physicians. Why would anyone suggest that you spend more than the typical millionaire for a suit? In a recently published article, an owner of very expensive suits touted that they were an excellent investment. Lawrence Menard, "You're looking rather prosperous, sir." Forbes, April 8, 1996, pages 132 to 133. Mr. Menard asks and answers the question of questions about investing in suits. Can custom-made suits be worth $2,000? Mine are. 14 years and 14 pounds later, they still look good. Believe it or not, Z made an excellent investment. Menard, p. 132. Mr. Menard tells his readers how he was initially guided to the Cuz. Tom Taylor shops of London's Savile Row by 2 senior-level executives, whom he regarded as having excellent taste but were not frivolous in their buying habits. They explained that to buy bespoke is to enter into a unique and personal relationship with your clothes. Menard, page 132. What is the meaning of bespoke? In middle-class American, it means custom-made. Johnny Lucas never bought a custom-made suit. Does he have a unique and personal relationship with his all-wool, top-of-the-line JCPenney suit? Are you surprised to learn that some millionaires shop at Penny's? Perhaps even more surprising, about 30.4% of the respondents who are millionaires hold JCPenney credit cards. Penny's private brand Stafford executive suits were recently given top scores for durability, cut, and fit by a leading consumer publication. Keep in mind that moths, cigar ashes, and other hazards do not care how much you paid for your wool suit. They do not understand the full meaning of bespoke. They are not interested in the fact that a suit with the same label was also worn by Dickens, Gaulle, and Churchill. Nor do they care if your suits ever generate dividends or capital gains. But they can certainly ruin your investment portfolio of suits.